Dear listener, thank you for coming to my channel and for listening. Today I'm going to present an introduction of a book called The Complete Dream Dictionary by Pamela. It was printed in 1999, and the introduction defines what dream is, the functions of a dream, and how it relates to our mind. It's pretty brief and it's quite informative, and I wanted to share. I hope you benefit. If you like and benefit from the presentation, please press the like button, subscribe for future reception of the notification for other presentations, and also please share. Thanks for listening. The text begins here. The focus of conscious activity is generally geared towards the management of our everyday lives, how we react to circumstances around us, what we think and what we feel. We take in information which must be either used immediately or stowed until we can process it and fit it into some kind of pattern. All this activity takes place quite quickly, but at the same time we are receiving many subconscious and subliminal impressions which frequently form the stuff that dreams are made of. It is this material which often pops up in the dream state in what seems to be a fairly random fashion, but often is not entirely haphazard. It has simply been put together in a different context from the one in which we received it. Dreams tap into a huge database of memory, experience, perception, and cultural belief to form new ideas and concepts. They also present us with a way of solving problems which may seem impossible on a conscious level. Dreams thus perform at least two functions, and interestingly, these activities are relevant to the attributes of the two separate halves of the brain. One is the correct sorting and filing of incoming information, activity appropriate to the logical, more verbal side of the brain, and the other is the intuitive, more visually based activity of the right side. Dreams are the presentation of information, material which is of relevance only to the dreamer, necessary for him to function successfully within the world in which he lives. As he becomes more efficient at opening up to these two potentials, he has more creative energy available to him and can therefore make better use of his own talents. In dreaming, the limitations that the conscious mind places on the thought processes are removed, and the mind has the freedom to roam wherever it pleases, assembling images at random to suit its own purpose. Free from hindrance, it will create scenarios and situations. I'll repeat. Free from hindrance, it will create scenarios and situations which challenge rationalization by the logical side of the personality, and yet have a clarity and purpose of their own, if only we are able to crack the code. In looking for explanations, we have to become more creative and open in the pursuit of knowledge. We can thereby tap into not only our own database of images, but also into an even more subtle level of information available to everyone. This is the level that Jung labeled the collective unconscious. Much of that which we call the unconscious forms a set of basic physiological and psychological responses, our way of successfully managing our existence. It is also a collection of inherited norms of conduct, beliefs, and ideals. So when the collective unconscious becomes more accessible to us, it becomes obvious that there are certain patterns or models which continually emerge. These basic patterns often have been adjusted according to the dreamer's perceptions or experience, and can therefore be distorted or skewed in some way. Often our dreams will highlight the way in which we have made those distortions and allow us to readjust them so we can function better. Conversely, dreams may often distort our carefully constructed beliefs and ideals, forcing us to question many aspects of our daily existence. New experience, trauma, or a reassessment of our own lives can bring to the surface a level of memory which is not normally easily accessible. It's a sort of Pandora's box containing good, bad, and indifferent material presented for our scrutiny. The more we scrutinize this treasure chest, the more subtle and interesting the explanations become. The simpler, easier, and more pertinent the explanations are, the more we shall be able to use the knowledge and wisdom we gain as a tool. Thus, dreams can often be interpreted from more than one perspective in order to be fully understood. Dream interpretation can never be an exact science and must take into account the dreamer's understanding of himself. No one other than the dreamer can totally understand a dream, however skilled they may be. The dreamer may not be looking for psychological or spiritual interpretation, but simply an easy explanation of the dream. The aim is to recognize that 1. Our unconscious self has information that it or we need to have brought into conscious knowledge, and therefore the dream is remembered. 2. Information is often given in a kind of coded form, where things are sometimes symbolized rather than presented directly. Many dream interpreters do not feel that much attention needs to be paid to symbols, and that only what is recognizable need to be acknowledged. 3. Dreams often highlight aspects of ourselves which we do not necessarily wish to deal with, such as sexuality and spirituality. 4. The dreaming self has a huge store of information with which to create. Rapid eye movement has been detected in unborn babies, so it is assumed that even in the womb the baby is learning and either categorizing or being affected by information it is receiving. Cushioned in a safe environment, presumably the baby is aware that it is the center of its own universe. A medley of external impressions gradually gains meaning and order, and a meaningless hodgepodge of noise achieves some kind of significance. Throughout all of this, there is the sound of the mother's heartbeat, and it has been proved that babies sleep more easily after birth if there is some such sound in their environment. This may also be why in certain forms of meditation, peace and tranquility can be achieved in adult life by paying attention to one's own heartbeat. Dreaming is a little like returning to this state and recognizing the significance which has been placed on certain sounds and impressions. Relearning dream language is simply remembering the process of sorting and the recognition of the symbolism. It is hoped that readers will find many different ways of using this book. It can be used as a straightforward dream dictionary to discover the meaning of individual images or to interpret an entire dream. The themes and whole story of dreams can be carefully considered if the book is used effectively. And when a journal is kept for a period of time, much insight can be gained into the individual subconscious workings of the dreamer. If the dreamer so dares, he or she can progress to making creative use of dreams and their material. Information is given on using lucid dreaming and those semi-aware states surrounding sleep to enhance the natural creativity inherent in each of us. It's the author's wish that her readers' lives are enriched by an understanding of their own highly individualistic abilities. Thank you for listening. Please come and visit the channel again.